6 Secrets to keep from your family after 70 for your peace. Have you ever felt that sharing too much with family can sometimes do more harm than good? As we grow older, many of us feel a natural pull toward honesty and openness, especially with those we love. But with time comes wisdom, and the gentle realization that not everything needs to be shared. This isn't about secrecy. It's about protecting your peace, maintaining healthy boundaries, and honoring your independence. After 70, it becomes clear that some thoughts are best kept close to the heart. Oversharing, even with good intentions, can sometimes lead to misunderstanding, worry, or unnecessary stress. In this video, we'll explore 6 things you may want to keep to yourself in your later years. Not to push people away, but to create space for calm, dignity, and choice. When you learn to hold a few things quietly, you might be surprised by how much more balanced and free your relationships feel. So stay with me. Because understanding what to keep private isn't about closing off. It's about living with grace, clarity, and peace in this precious season of life. Let's begin. Number 1. Family conflicts, choosing to let go. Family dynamics can be incredibly complex. As we grow older, we often find ourselves pulled into situations we never expected. Siblings fighting over an inheritance, adult children holding on to old grudges, or extended family members who just don't get along. It's a part of life, a part of family life at least. When you've lived long enough, you've seen the patterns. Old wounds resurface, long-held grudges bubble to the surface, and family history seems to repeat itself over and over again. It's easy to get caught up in the drama. When we care about those around us, we feel the urge to step in, to offer advice, or to share exactly what we think about who's right and who's wrong. But more often than not, offering your opinion or taking sides only adds fuel to the fire. You might have experienced this yourself, trying to mediate a dispute between family members, only to watch both sides suddenly turn on you, or offering a strong opinion in the hope of helping, only to realize later that your words were taken the wrong way. It's frustrating, isn't it? The truth is, family conflicts, no matter how intense, have a way of sorting themselves out or not, regardless of your input. And even when things settle down, the words spoken in the heat of the moment linger. If you take sides or express a strong opinion, those words have a way of staying with people. The argument may fade, but the resentment can stay. Sometimes, even long after the issue is resolved, your involvement in the conflict can keep you at arm's length from family members. This is particularly sensitive when it comes to younger family members. Whether it's a son-in-law, a daughter's parenting choices, or a relative's life decisions. It might feel like you're just being honest in the moment, or offering what you think is helpful advice. But those words can be deeply impactful. People rarely forget when they feel judged or criticized, even if your intentions were good. What you thought of as just being honest might feel like rejection or criticism to them, and that emotional distance can last long after the dust settles. Here's the hard truth. The best thing you can do, especially as you get older, is practice selective silence. You don't have to agree with everything. You don't have to pretend that the problems don't exist. But you also don't have to comment on every family situation. Instead of diving into the drama, sometimes the most compassionate thing you can say is simply, "I hope things work out for the best," or, "I trust you'll make the right decision." By choosing not to comment or give unsolicited advice, you can stay connected to your loved ones without being pulled into a conflict that ultimately isn't yours to resolve. Choosing silence doesn't mean you're turning away. It means you're protecting your peace and maintaining harmony, not just within your family but within yourself as well. Number 2. Your finances, your freedom. One of the most delicate topics as we grow older is money. It's natural to think that being completely transparent about your financial situation with your family might prevent future misunderstandings. That by laying everything on the table, your savings, your investments, your plans, you'll create clarity and trust. But more often than not, it does the opposite. Sharing every financial detail, even with the best of intentions, can open the door to unwanted opinions, subtle pressures, or even family tension. Not because your loved ones don't care, but because money carries with it so many unspoken emotions: fear, hope, control, and expectation. You might have witnessed it before. A friend reveals their retirement plan or the value of their home, and suddenly they find themselves surrounded by unsolicited advice. Shouldn't you downsize? Why don't you invest more wisely? Have you thought about setting up something for the grandkids? At first, it may come from a place of concern, but over time, it can feel like your independence is being slowly chipped away. There's also a more difficult truth. Once people know the exact numbers, how much you have, where it's going, or what you've set aside, it changes the dynamic. Even well-meaning family members can start viewing your decisions through their own lens, especially when generational perspectives on money differ. And in some unfortunate cases, relationships shift once people realize what you possess. Someone who once showed little interest may suddenly become more involved, too involved, when they learn about your assets. The most painful part? When people stop seeing you as the wise, capable person you are, and start seeing you as someone they need to manage. You might begin to hear comments like, "Are you sure you should be spending that much? Wouldn't it be smarter to give some of that away now instead of later?" Even if said gently, these words can quietly erode your confidence and joy. Let's be clear, you're not wrong to want privacy. This isn't about hiding, it's about protecting your peace. About honoring the life you've built and maintaining the freedom to enjoy it on your own terms. Yes, it's wise to have an estate plan. Yes, there's a time for discussing key financial matters with your family, especially when it involves legal documents or future care. But that doesn't mean you owe anyone a play-by-play of your bank account or spending habits. Some things are meant to stay yours. Not to create distance, but to preserve dignity, autonomy, and joy. In your later years, peace often comes not from what you share, but from what you choose to hold gently within. If you're still with me in finding these insights helpful, I'd love to hear from you. Please comment number 2 below to let me know you're here and engaged. And if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure to click that subscribe button and turn on the bell so you never miss another video. Your support means the world to us and helps us continue creating content that's designed to inform and inspire you. Thank you for being here, and let's move forward together. Number 3. Your personal hobbies and interests. Maintaining your identity. As we get older, many of us discover new passions or rekindle old ones. Whether it's gardening, painting, writing, or learning a new skill, having personal hobbies and interests becomes a way of nurturing our own identity outside of family roles. While it's natural to share things that bring us joy, there are times when it's best to keep certain hobbies or interests to yourself. Sharing every detail about how you spend your free time, especially when it's something that doesn't directly involve your family, can sometimes invite unasked for opinions or even well-meaning interference. For example, if you find peace in a solitary activity, like taking long walks or reading quietly in the afternoon, family members might misinterpret this as loneliness or isolation. They might suggest you need to be more social or find group activities, even though you're content with your own company. What brings you joy doesn't always need validation or advice from others. In some cases, family members may even feel they need to fix what they perceive as an imbalance in your life. They may start suggesting you take up different hobbies or join activities that you don't have an interest in, thinking they're helping. But the truth is, your hobbies are a source of independence, and sharing too much about them can sometimes dilute that sense of personal freedom. By keeping some of your activities private, you maintain control over how you define your own happiness. Your hobbies are personal, and while it's wonderful to share moments with family, it's equally important to carve out space where you can just be yourself. This is not about isolation. It's about nurturing a sense of self that doesn't need approval or adjustment from anyone else. In the end, your passions, your time, and your quiet moments are yours to enjoy. You don't need to explain or justify them. Protecting this space is essential to maintaining your independence and peace of mind. Number 4. Regrets about the past, the burden of unspoken truths. As the years go by, it's natural to find ourselves reflecting on the past. The choices we made, the opportunities we missed, the paths we didn't take. Regret is something almost everyone experiences in one form or another. It's part of the human condition, especially as we look back at a life that's seen both triumphs and challenges. But while regret is a universal feeling, it doesn't always need to be shared, especially not with your family. You might feel the urge to open up about the things you wish you had done differently, whether it's how you handled your career, how you raised your children, or decisions that ultimately shaped the course of your life. These feelings of regret may feel like a form of honesty or self-reflection. But sometimes, what you intend as a personal, thoughtful moment can be misinterpreted by those closest to you. When parents or grandparents express regret, especially about the past, their children may take it to heart in ways that are unintended. For example, if you mention wishing you had spent less time working and more time with family, your children might hear, "I wasn't a good enough parent." If you talk about regretting not moving to a different city or pursuing a different dream, they might interpret that as an indirect way of saying your life with them wasn't fulfilling, even if that's far from what you meant. The truth is, those words can linger. They can create unnecessary guilt, resentment, or a sense of inadequacy. They may not only burden you but also your loved ones, especially when they feel responsible, even if unintentionally. The same applies when reflecting on relationships, past loves, or friendships. Talking about someone you once cared for, even in a seemingly harmless way, can leave your spouse or close family members feeling like they were the second choice. Likewise, reflecting on friendships that drifted apart or opportunities that slipped away can shift how others see you, from a strong, resilient person who has lived a full life, to someone who feels stuck in the past. That's why sometimes certain regrets are best kept to yourself. It's okay to reflect on your past, to process it, and even to learn from it. But constantly bringing it up, especially in front of those closest to you, doesn't change what's already happened. More often than not, it simply places a burden on those who love you, a weight that doesn't belong to them. The past can never be rewritten, but how you carry it forward is entirely in your hands. It's your choice how to move beyond regret, how to honor your past without letting it dictate your present. That choice is a quiet power you can hold for yourself, and sometimes the best way to carry that power is to keep certain reflections to yourself. If you're still with me and finding these reflections valuable, please comment number 4 below to let me know you're here and engaged. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I encourage you to hit the subscribe button and turn on the bell so you never miss another video. Your support helps us keep creating content that can inspire and guide you through every stage of life. Thank you for being here. Let's continue this journey together. Number 5. The full extent of your financial situation, the power of privacy. Money, it's one of the most complicated and sensitive topics in any family. It can bring people together, but it can also stir up tension, create misunderstandings, and even lead to conflict. As we get older, it's natural to feel the urge to share more about our financial situation, whether it's how much we've saved, what we plan to leave behind, or even the financial struggles we're facing. After all, we want our loved ones to understand where we stand and perhaps even prepare them for what's ahead. But here's the truth: being too open about your finances can sometimes do more harm than good. One of the biggest risks of revealing too much about your money is that it can change how people treat you. If your family knows that you've managed to save comfortably, you might notice that certain relatives start to look at you differently. They may begin to subtly expect financial help or even hint at what they hope to inherit. It can feel as if your relationship with them is no longer based on mutual love and respect, but rather on what you can provide. On the other hand, if you reveal that you're struggling financially, it may bring out a different kind of pressure. Your loved ones might start worrying too much about you, and in some cases, they might question your financial decisions or try to fix things for you. Either way, once money enters the conversation, it has a way of shifting relationships. And once that shift happens, it's hard to undo. Another concern is independence. The more your family knows about your finances, the more likely they may feel entitled to offer financial advice, whether you ask for it or not. And sometimes this advice can cross a line. Family members might start making decisions on your behalf, thinking they're helping when in reality, they're taking away your ability to manage your own affairs. You might find yourself being told where you should live, how you should spend, or what's best for you, all because you shared details about your finances that, in hindsight, might have been better kept private. Now, this doesn't mean you should keep everything a secret. If you have a trusted financial advisor or an executive handling your estate, it's important to have your plans documented properly and to communicate with them as needed. But outside of that, the best approach is often to share only what's absolutely necessary and nothing more. By keeping certain details to yourself, you preserve your autonomy over your own financial future and avoid unnecessary stress, tension, or unwanted advice. If you've ever noticed how discussions about money can change the way people interact with you, whether it's a shift in behavior or subtle expectations, you already understand why this is one of the most important areas to be mindful of as you age. In the end, your finances are yours to manage, and keeping some of those details private ensures that your relationships remain built on love and respect, rather than financial expectations or obligations. Number 6. Health concerns, choosing what to share. As we grow older, it's natural to experience more health challenges. A new ache here, a little extra fatigue there, these become part of our daily lives. And while it's understandable to want to share these little discomforts with our family, especially when they care so deeply about us, there is wisdom in choosing what to share and when. There's a fine line between keeping your loved ones informed about significant health matters and burdening them with every minor issue. After all, not every little ache and pain needs to become a family discussion. Constantly sharing every health concern, no matter how small, can inadvertently create unnecessary worry and stress. It can even lead family members to step in and make decisions for you before it's time. The intentions are almost always loving, perhaps even protective, but the outcome isn't always as helpful as it seems. You may have experienced this before. You casually mention something like joint pain or feeling a bit more tired than usual, and suddenly your family is in full research mode, looking up remedies, suggesting appointments, or even making comments like, "You really need to take better care of yourself." It can feel as if suddenly they've taken over your health, as if they doubt your ability to manage it. It's not uncommon for family members, especially younger ones, to want to fix things. But their concern can quickly turn into pressure. They might start researching treatments or scheduling appointments without waiting for you to ask for help, assuming that you need more guidance than you actually do. This can be frustrating, especially when you've been caring for yourself for decades. Then there's the psychological aspect. If you share every minor health issue, even the smallest one, your family may start to see you differently. They might begin to treat you as if you're fragile, assuming that you're declining faster than you really are. Once they view you through that lens, it can be difficult to change their perception. Suddenly, you might notice they hesitate to include you in activities, question your ability to travel, or suggest that you need extra help when all you did was mention that your knees were bothering you a bit more that day. It's a delicate balance. You want to be understood, but you don't want your autonomy to be stripped away by well-meaning but misplaced concern. Of course, it's crucial to communicate major health issues, especially those that affect daily life or require family support. But choosing to keep minor health matters private doesn't mean you're being dishonest or hiding something. It simply means that you are protecting your independence. You have the right to manage your health without feeling like others are stepping in unnecessarily. Sometimes, silence is the best way to maintain control over your own well-being, and to preserve the sense of autonomy that allows you to navigate life confidently. Final thoughts. Embracing peace through boundaries. As we age, the beauty of life often lies in our ability to choose what we share and what we keep to ourselves. There's wisdom in knowing that not everything needs to be discussed, not every detail needs to be shared, and not every moment of our lives requires the approval or intervention of others. In the end, your health, your finances, your past regrets, your personal space, and even your hobbies are all part of what makes you you. Protecting these aspects of your life with care doesn't make you distant or secretive. It makes you strong, wise, and able to continue living life on your own terms. By practicing selective sharing, you ensure that your relationships remain rooted in respect, love, and understanding, without the complications that come from overexposure or unnecessary pressures. And remember, it's okay to hold certain parts of your life close. You deserve to manage your own story, to move through the world with peace of mind, and to enjoy your later years free from the burden of constant opinions or expectations. Thank you for joining me on this journey of reflection. I hope you find the courage to embrace the art of keeping some things to yourself, for your own well-being and for the harmony of your relationships. The beauty of growing older is not just in the years lived, but in the wisdom gained to live those years with grace, autonomy, and peace.